Welcome back, everyone. It's Aric from Rare Candy, and today we are back checking out another single prize deck. I know I've been kind of on a roll with these, but we're going to keep that train chugging along today with the new Lycanroc, which is, kind of a card that's a little bit of a reprint in a way. It's kind of like a pseudo reprint of the old Vespiquen and Flareon decks from back in the day, which were, very, very dominant. So I'll have to see if this can kind of live up to that same legacy. But before we get any deeper into today's video, if you guys can't remember to crush that like button, it genuinely actually really does help get this video seen by more people on YouTube. And if you need any cards to complete this Lycanroc deck or any others, you can check out our friends at PTCGO Use that coupon code RARECANDY at checkout to save yourself some money. And all of our patrons at patreon.com/RareCandyTCG also have their own exclusive discount code of their own for even bigger savings. But hopping back into today's deck, guys, let's take a look at the new Lycanroc. So, Single Strike Pokemon just has one attack, has the Rogue Fangs attack for 2 fighting energy, does 80 plus 10 more for each Single Strike Pokemon in your discard pile. So again, kind of like the old Vespiquen and Flareons, but this is, of course, exclusive to Single Strike Pokemon. But kind of the trade-off is our base damage is a lot higher than the old Vespiquen and Flareon, and also Single Strike Pokemon just as a type have a ton of support with things like Single Strike Energy to boost our damage output a little higher. So ideally, we're just trying to throw as many Pokemon in the discard pile as possible, do large amounts of damage, pretty straightforward strategy. So of course, taking a look at a lot of our Pokemon are just kind of filler to toss away. Like, as you can see, we have the Single Strike Urshifus and VMAXs, none of the pre-evolutions, just because we don't really want to attack with these multi-prizers like this guy. So you can run really whatever single prize evolutions you want to discard. I'm just choosing these because they're both Urshifus, so just for aesthetic purposes. But looking at some of the more functional single strike cards, of course, we have our 4/4 Houndoom line. And to be honest, this deck I think really only needs like one Houndoom in play at a time, which means playing the 4/4 line means we can get our Houndoom set up really quickly and also have plenty of excess copies to throw away to do more damage. So makes sense just maxing this guy out. And we also have the 2 copies of Stonjourner as well. This actually can be a half decent backup attacker. Just because this thing is pretty good at knocking out things like the Denes and Crobats and can help you go for 2 shots while only being a basic Pokemon and giving up 1 prize like your Lycanroc. So we might actually attack with Stonjourner, but a lot of the times it's just going to be fodder to throw away in our discard pile if we need to. Of course, we have the 2 copies of the Dene GX. We probably want to play this over things like Oricorio and Crobat just because, of course, this does allow us to discard stuff. Now, of course, you could play like a Galarian Articuno V or something like that if you wanted to, but I like the hard draw 6 that we're going to get from the Dene instead. So taking a look at the rest of the deck, there's really not a whole lot of bells and whistles. Just to be honest, there's not space for it because of the amount of Pokemon we have to run. But in terms of draw supporters, we don't play too many. We have 4 Research, 1 Bruno, so just 5, which doesn't seem like a whole lot. But we also have the 3 copies of Tower of Darkness as well to supplement our draw power and also pitch away additional Pokemon to discard. So between the Towers, the Researches, Brunos, and the Denes, we should be able to plow through our deck at a good pace, I think. And between the 4 Quick Balls and Communications, we basically always have access to a Dedenne if we want it. Truth be told, I kind of would like to change Communication to like Level Balls or Evolution Incense, but because of the lack of draw supporters, I end up changing that back to Communication just to make sure we can always find Dedenne to bail us out if we do need to. But from there, also have the 1 copy of Great Catcher instead of our 3rd boss, just because Great Catcher allows us to toss away Pokemon and we can get easy KOs on opposing Dedenne GXs, especially since we are fighting type as well. And then looking at our energies, we don't play a whole lot, just the 4 single strike energies and 2 basic fightings. Not a whole lot, guys, but if you look at our recovery options, we have the 4 Urns of Vitality and the 2 Ordinary Rods. So we're going to have plenty of ways at recycling energy. And I know Ordinary Rod might look weird to play as a 2-of just because we're trying to discard cards from our deck. I think maybe you can go down to 1 copy, but truth be told, we want to attack with 6 Lycanrocs throughout the course of a game. And, if we play 1 and we prize it or have to discard 1 early, that can make things tough and we might be forced to attack with things like Stonjourner, which is not as good in the late game if we are forced to go that route. So I'm playing the 2 Ordinary Rod, but maybe the second one's cuttable. I'm not too sure about that just yet. But either way, guys, that's going to be the list we're going to be trying out today. But let's hop in some games and see if Lycanroc can live up to the legacy of some of these revenge-style Pokemon of the past. All right, so we have our opponent with a Cosmic Eclipse deck box, which does make me a little bit anxious for playing against ADP. They got the Dragon sleeves, the Arceus coin. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. This is probably going to be a really awful matchup for us. But we'll see what happens. Us going first is at least good. Okay, so since we are going first, if we can get the first KO, we can win. But if we can't get the first KO, we're going to lose. That's really just how this goes. Assuming it's ADP, of course. All right, so definitely put Mew back in deck. Seems like it makes sense. The question is, do we save this hand? And I actually think I kind of want to. We have a research, so I'm just going to go with a Ratcliffe at this point. We do have both Deandres. We have great catcher, so that's good. And just pass. Now, if this is ADP and they get the turn 1 altercation, I mean, we pack it up. That's game, really, as unfortunate as that is most of the time. But okay, another Deandre going down, that's good. A Saucer going down is also really good. Okay, there's Energy Spinner. So, of course, they can guarantee that water energy, but they've not played an actual supporter yet. There's a Cherish Ball. So they could grab Mawile, but they should be out of the Deandres at this point. Yeah, Mawile doesn't really matter against us, but they at least can Saucer to it, which is a pain. Like, if they have the altercation, that's just going to be so tough to come back from. Our only hope would really be to find Great Catcher and knock out Deandre. There's Crobat. They haven't gotten rid of a single energy switch either, so I think there is a good chance they do have what they need this turn. Okay, there's a Quick Ball, tossing away Great Catcher. Hey, that's good, though. There's a Gyrosean coming down as well. And, ooh, we just get the Intrepid Sword, and they don't retreat either, which is really big. So, hey, we will take that. So, evolve into Houndoom. We do need to manually attach, so I'm actually not going to Single Strike Roar. And yeah, let's just go for the research here. Okay, so I kind of want to Deandre change, but let's see. They're probably not going to knock us out. So maybe it's safe actually not to Deandre change this turn. Yeah, we'll put the Ratcliffe back in deck. That's cool. But I will save the Houndour in case we top deck a communication or something like that. So let's just go ahead and, in case of a morning, I think I actually will do the fighting energy here. And go for the rogue things, get the knockout. So that's really big. Getting this free easy KO like that. Again, Urshifu and Stonjourner, worthless. But I guess Stonjourner could be good if we still don't have anything after this next turn. Like, if we don't draw away to draw cards, this actually could be a good Pokemon to get down. Metal Saucer. It could be interesting if they try to just knock us out. That would actually be really big. There's ADP. Okay, so actually attacking with 2 ADPs might not be a bad thing. There's the Altercation. Okay. Don't like the spot that we're going to be in over here. So let's see, how much are we doing? Not much at all. Like, a part of me even wants to do more damage this turn. Yeah, we need a big top deck. I don't know if not going for that Dedenne GX is going to come back to bite us or not, but things definitely feel sketchy right now. Let's see. I think we just have to chance that we get what we want here off of... Like, if we top deck a boss, then getting this down could be good, but at the same time, so we're just doing this. And we'll get down Houndoom just in case as well. So, yeah, we need something to happen. We need to get Marnie, but we still kind of want these urns, so really we want to top deck like a Research or something, or a Dedenne. That would be great too. But this game might slip away from us, guys. It was a little bit greedy not going for the Dedenne GX on that one turn, but, you know, I was thinking between our 2 prize cards, plus our draw for turn, plus our next draw for turn, okay, there's going to be a boss. Oh, an Intrepid Sword. That's actually huge. Okay. Well, that kind of changes things, I do have to say. How many urns are we down? None. So I think this is a turn where we will go for Dedenne GX. Now, are we going to get a knockout? I think there is a chance that we can, so let's just retreat here. Go for the urn. Deadly change. Let's go, guys. Big stumble on our opponent's turn there. Okay, so... Tower. Do this. Single Strike Roar. Start powering up this little guy back here. Yeah, at this point, I think we have it. A couple big stumbles from them not having like the turn 1 altar creation or any of that. Absolutely huge. So yeah, let's go ahead. I think we're gonna do just the fighting energy. That's cool with me. Go for the research. And yeah, things are feeling pretty good for our deck, I do have to say. And we'll toss the Sojourner as well. Okay, so just go for the Rogue Fangs, and that is going to be the KO. So now, I mean, it's like basically almost a checkmate scenario at this point, guys. And we top deck, or not top deck, but we get the boss off the prizes. And yeah, we still have our Great Catcher as well. So they need to make something happen. They need to reset stamp us. You know, Marnia, something like that. Otherwise, we have game ready to go. Yeah, just the Brave Blade. So the 2 prizes off of our Lycanroc not going to be quite enough, unfortunately. So, hey, I mean, Lycanroc, you can still beat ADP as long as they don't get the... Like I said, as long as you really take the first KO, that's really what matters here. So, yeah, just go for the boss. Poor little Dedenne GX. And that's going to be the game with the old Rogue Fangs for 300. So plenty enough to take that knockout. All right. Bedu 14 calling the flip, which we win. So yeah, sure. Let's go first. Get those basics set up and in play as quick as possible. Okay, so this is actually kind of an okay hand. Unfortunately, we don't have too much to actually discard with Great Catcher or Research, but we can at least set up a couple things here. So let's go ahead and put the Urshifu back in deck. Grab Houndour. And we will put this guy back and get ourselves another Rockruff here. So we do have all of our Lycanrocs. We did prize a Rockruff. We have both Dedennes. We did prize our Mew, so we'll have to see if it's going to be relevant. We have a Zigzagoon active, so this could be Eternatus, but also could be like an Urshifu deck playing Scoop Up Net, so that could potentially be really bad for us. And looks like we prized a Research as well. Research, Single Strike Energy, and Mew. And Earn a Vitality. I know we have our fourth in hand. Alright. So from there, just going to pass. This is definitely like one of those games where I do kind of wish our communications would be like level balls or something, just because that way we could have kept some of these other Pokemon in hand to discard or evolve into. But it's going to be Eternatus, so that's actually good for us. Obviously, it's weak to fighting. But also, too, if this was Urshifu, prizing our Mew would be, like, atrocious. So I'm really happy this worked out the way it did. So we're going to Research. Don't want a Single Strike Roar just because we need to actually draw into physical energy to still get a KO this turn, too. Alright, so we did whiff, but we can Dead change. So let's go ahead and... yeah, we'll Quick Ball, toss away the Urshifu here. I guess we'll grab a Rockruff. I guess we'll put Stallinger back in deck, grab ourselves a Lycanroc. I think we'll get down a second Houndour as well. Okay, so we just need energy, and we're going to be in a pretty decent spot so far. Bro, come on. Well, that suddenly feels a lot worse. Okay, so we're going to Single Strike Roar literally just over to this guy, because if we do this to the active... I think there is a chance we get knocked out, so I think we'll do it here. And just let this Lycanroc go down. So big whiff, unfortunately, guys, because if we did knock out the Zigzagoon, that means all we'd have to do is knock out one Eternatus and one Crobat, and that would be game. But, oh, just a pass over to us. That's actually really big. All right, buddy, I am so sorry. We are going to nuke this little Zigzagoon here. I'm cool with just sitting on this hand, to be honest, too. We have an urn ready to go, so... let's see if we can get off our prizes. We do get another Research. So if we get Marnie, this isn't a bad prize to get, but... or if we Bruno. Okay, there's going to be the Research. Our opponent's finally going to top deck out of this funk that they were in. So, do they play Weakness Guard? Oh, no Weakness Guards. That could be bad for them. I feel like either way, this is going to be a really good matchup for us. Like, unless they're playing the Weakness Guard energy, there's not a whole lot they can really do, to be honest. They just kind of have to hope that we whiff, like, our attack some turns. Okay, there's going to be the Dread end, so... yeah, just going to promote the Rockruff here. Burn Vitality. Definitely am going to preemptively go for the Single Strike Roar. So we just have to do 170, right? Which I don't think should be a big issue for our deck here. So right now we'd be doing 120, 30, 40, 50, 60. Our other Dedenne is in deck, so I actually kind of don't want to fill up this bench spot. We could research, but do we want to get rid of... That'll literally be every supporter in our deck gone. I don't think that's a good idea, guys. Unfortunately, I think we're going to Bruno. We could play the Quick Ball, but this is a card I don't mind drawing back into. Because that would help us get another Dedenne GX. Oof. So still no Lycanroc. Okay, so right now we're hitting 120, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. Okay, so we can actually afford to get back the Lycanroc just to maximize our chances of drawing into it. I think I'm going to do the air balloon as well, just in case we do whip. I might want to save this Rockruff. So, well, actually maybe we'll do Houndoom. Yeah, that's fine. Alright, guys, so we just need Lycanroc and we're good. Okay, there we go. That was almost kind of a sketchy turn. Yeah, we'll attach preemptively as well, I think. Yeah, at this point, guys, we're in a good spot. I think it's going to be hard to lose this one, but let's just double check. 120, 130, 140, 150, 160, 170 times 2 for weakness. Gonna nuke the Eternatus VMAX. Okay. So again, unless they're playing weakness card energy, it's gonna be, I think, just a little too difficult for them to come back from this one. I think their only hope is like just trying to like boss stall us at this point, which probably isn't ideal for them, but okay, so they're gonna go for the Derail and the Marnie. So I don't mind that. We can just accelerate any energy they do discard with Derail, so it's not looking too good for them. And we do still have one boss as well, so but there's a Chaotic Swell. And we hit the boss, so feels bad for our opponent here, but just that's kind of what makes Lycanroc actually kind of decent. It has a decent Eternatus matchup being fighting. So from there, just go for the boss. Fairpoint with the well played, and that is going to be the game. So yeah, cross your fingers if you're playing Lycanroc, you get paired against Eternatus. This is definitely going to be, I think, far and away one of your best matchups. Alrighty, guys, thanks so much for coming by, checking out this wild Lycanroc deck that we have here today. I mean, I actually think this deck isn't too bad. I think the big issue with it is finding enough space for all of the Pokemon you need, finding space for all of the, like, recovery and single strike cards like the Urns Vitalities and the Ordinary Rods, and finding space for your draw supporters and draw options is something that I think is a little bit challenging. Like, I think if I were to make any alterations to this list, I think I would want to maybe increase my Bruno count by 1, or maybe our tower count by 1. I'm not sure, but I kind of wouldn't mind one additional draw option, and maybe even another Great Catcher as well. I think that also could be a consideration. But either way, I hope this is a good little starting point if you guys want to begin messing with this Lycanroc deck. But if you guys did enjoy today's content, of course, remember to smack that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring that bell for notifications. That way you'll be up to date whenever my next video drops. Or if you want to take your support to the next level, you can also become a patron at patreon.com/rarecandytcg, or pick up some merch over at rarecandytcg.com. It would mean a lot. But as always, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.